Alright, we just passed apoapse, but that's okay because periapsis height's coming up reasonably alright. Pitch up a little bit, but nowhere near the 90 degrees we had to last time to try and keep it up straight. Circularization's a long old burn though. With this tiny engine. Alright, periapsis height is under 200. Not under minus 200. We're still 7k above atmosphere, so we're alright so far for manoeuvre room. Not doing EVAs while I'm under burn. That would just go badly. Periapsis height 85 and dropping. Almost there. Camera flip any second. There we go. .59 by 54. And we still got 1,000 meters a second of delta V in the tank, which is more than enough to get to Lua. Where's our optimal point? Probably about bring that back down a touch, because we don't need to be going that far around it. We only need to make orbit. 580 meters a second. There we go. 579. 1 minute 40 second burn. Not too bad. Been around the planet. I don't mind the EVA reports. Get those some other time. Press those back on the maneuver node. And burn in 45 seconds. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, burn. And then we'll speed up through this. Oh, this burn will take forever. Drifting off the node very slowly, but it's not going to matter, we just need to make orbit of Lua. So we'll just tweak it to finish off this last little bit. That should be close enough. Yep, gets us a periapse. And then we'll add a maneuver there. Bring us into orbit for a whole 160. We have 500 left. We can actually push that much further out, we don't need to be that close. Ah, 108. Good enough. Right, before we get randomly eaten by the Kraken again, let's save that there. I really should use quick save more often. Saves reverting entire flights when stuff like that happens. Oh look, there's KSP down there. I love the fact that the atmosphere on the road is so thin you can actually see KSP physically on the ground from this distance. Road's that small. Don't normally get to see that rendered on Kerbin. No, no sad Kraken noises. The Kraken will get fed later on, I'm sure. I have no doubt about that. Bye, road. Finally, after 2 hours, we are actually leaving Rhodes SOI and Valentina gets to go somewhere interesting. Taken a while, but... Nope, there was an EVA report. There briefly, but we missed it. Right, now we're in high space. Crew report. No time warp this time. We can actually EVA safely. Store all those. I don't think there's much else to do until we get to Lua now. That'll be the SOI transfer coming up. Report. Base near Lua. Absolutely. Lua's atmospheric Midlands. Take that as well. Definitely. Right, burn in 37 seconds. Only a 17-second burn this time, it's not too bad. You have some leftover turkey for the Kraken, Tatty? Ah, fair enough. I think it depends what the Kerbals are made of. You know, whether it would actually like turkey or not, but it seems to like spaceships. Right, burn in 12. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And this should put us in orbit of Lua. Like so. Man returned from orbit of Lua. Lua orbit achieved. Just has to come home. Now I wonder how much it would take to get the space near, because I think we're still in space high above. Oh no, we're in space near Lua. Okay. Actually be further up for space high. Wow. I would have thought space near Lua was a lot lower. Almost 550 kilometers up. There might just be an error in the mod. It might just be a typo in the report. I can't believe Space near Lure is that far out. Let's see what it would take to get a low orbit. Hurry up to 125. That's only 50 meters a second. We can probably do that. If I'm going to put this in orbit and I want to leave going retrograde, which I will do, I may as well drop the orbit from here. Because then when I burn it back out at periaps, I will leave going that away, is what I want. So that should be minimal fuel for a return. You can get nice and close. 77 meters a second. I like the look of that. Out of curiosity, does that say space near as well? Or is that space high above? No, that says space near as well. Maybe Lure has good lawyers. Lure's able to negotiate a high border. It's entirely possible. I'm going to hang on for that and see if it changes, because we're going to get closer anyway. I'm assuming we're okay for life support. Oh yeah, we've got 10 days of supplies. 6 days on Hab. 6 days on home. We're only 3.5 hours into the mission. Yeah, this is not a problem. How close, dare I ask? 900 meters. No, not 900 meters. What a god. Not this week. No, we'll get down to about 50k. I know. If it hadn't got an atmosphere, I'd go for it, but there's this pesky bit of air in the way is a problem. Okay, let's speed up. In fact, let's just warp to maneuver. Absolutely, utter god, I am going to save. AVA report. High over Lure. Okay, so 500 odd kilometers really is the space close to. Keep that one. Collect all. And then we'll nip out and get all the sites back. I'm surprised I'm not getting temperature or pressure data near Lure. I suppose we've done these before because we've been in with the probes. That said, there is 4.4 in there for recovery, so we might as well grab it. A barometer. An extra 4.3 in there as well. Collect all. Okay. We just missed the burn, but what the hell? Oh, it's not going to make much difference at this point. We're in roughly the right spot. And that gets our periapsis down to just under 50 kilometers. Just so we can take a nice close look at Lure while we're here. It's a fairly pointless burn, to be honest, because we know we're already in space near. We've already got the orbit. I just want to get close and have a look at the surface. Give Valentina, you know, something nice to tell stories about. Right, we'll get back into space near. and then we'll get that material study for the extra 7 odd science. And of course my orbit's completely screwed because Lua's going to rotate underneath us in the meantime. Come on, Kerbal. EVA. For next 12 sites. Lua's main rich highlands. Collect that. Do our material study properly this time. And collect that. I actually don't need that. That collect all button does the same thing. Go look at Lua close up. And keep missing all the EVA reports. Come on. No, they're there. Give me the EVA back. Ah, missed it again. Stop it. Stop taunting me. We'll be better when we're closer in because we'll start getting longer times over the various biomes. There's not many oceans on Lua, they're quite hard to get them. Right, let's spin around a little further. Hi, road. Oh, hey, worst game as ever. Thank you for joining us. Yes, this game is properly rocket science. It really is. Kind of the whole point. You actually have to know, to a certain extent, what you're doing in terms of orbital mechanics and actually how to fly rockets. And mistakes are frequently made. But we'll have that extra EVA report. Why wouldn't you let me keep that? We already got that one. We've already got it. But yeah, we are currently... We've left Road, our home planet, and we are currently in orbit of the first moon, which is Lua. We're not going to try and land. Not just now, because we have not enough fuel on board, we don't have the landing legs. But that's the next mission, is to actually land on here. But yeah, the whole thing is reasonably accurately modelled rocket science and gives you all sorts of headaches. Make the fire come out the bottom end, point the other end up. I mean, it would technically land it, but I'm not sure I have the fuel to get home again. So we're going to plan a manoeuvre to leave, I think. I burned from about there. I'm going to get anything close to a free return. Well, not a free return, because it's not a free return flight, but... Where's our best burn point? About there by the look of it. That needs to be prograde. Okay, the burn points for leaving Lua are really quite different to what you'd expect for all the other ones. Road periaps of 250, 148. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it, Tatty? Normally you'd burn about here to leave, but it is a really fast orbit. I mean, you saw how much Lure rotated almost 90 degrees just in the time it took us to close in from our current airpo, so... Okay, that gets us close to road for 202 meters a second. There's 270 left in the tank. Just enough to get home. Yeah, I think that'll do the job quite nicely. We can tweak that once we get outside Lure's sphere of influence. We should have enough fuel to get home. Just like we planned it. 28-second burn in 1 hour 49 minutes. Double sunrise on Lure. Destiny and fate swing into view again. Spin out. Leave the Lure behind. Grab that crew report space high over, because we haven't got that one yet. Collect everything into the... Won't need the mistake button at all. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Save from there. 36 seconds to the burn. I'll get the burn set up for coming home, and then we'll send Valentina out to go and do the all the science collection. Make sure everything's out the bottom module. Okay, burn in 17 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. This will take us out of Lure orbit and send us back towards road. We bring that down to about 20, 25k, that'd be perfect. Don't need that anymore. Just watching this periaps number now. $25k. Save from there. Valentina, you can nip out and go and get all the science for us. Let's see, there is a disassembled part. That's what I managed to hit last time. Let's not do the whole tumbling thing, okay? You think they would have affected a capable link in the science kit in the module? Yeah, you'd think. That'd be far too easy. Right, let's get Valentina back on board. So we have 13 experiments stored. Okay, so we have material study in space near Lure, reports from various places, EVA report from various places, and there should be a couple of temperature scans in here as well. Yes, absolutely, Tatty. Yes, I think that's what happened. I think I drifted just too far away. Was about to click on collect all and dismantle it instead. Okay, We have all our science. There's nothing else we need from there, but I'm not going to drop the bottom stage yet because it's got our life support on it, and I don't particularly want to leave Valentina without snacks or, you know, oxygen. So we will swing this round to what's roughly orbital retrograde, which it will then drift off completely, but that's fine. Make sure we've got plenty of sun on the solar panels and start bringing this thing home. Snacks are absolutely more important than oxygen, you know. Kerbals definitely need one, the other one's optional. The road is very pretty. Looks like there's more oceans on this side of the planet. I think we must be on the dry side on the other side. There's definitely water there. There's water at the poles as well. Or is that Aurora? Oh, it might actually be Aurora up there. Anyway, read the time warp up, bring it back home. 350,000 kilometers. Periapsis is still 25k, that's fine. I think at this point we are just about set. Save here just in case. But I think we're all set to drop the bottom stage. There's still 60 meters of fuel left in the tank, but we really don't need it at this point. And there's our heat shield. Which is, you know, not going to do that much for protecting the rest of the ship, given that this whole thing sticks out beyond it. We have lost our reaction wheels at this point, which is mildly unfortunate. But we should be roughly orbital retro and it should stabilise from there. And there was 20 ablator on the capsule as well, yes. We can pin that and put it up there and keep an eye on it. See what happens to that. I mean, this one should have a ton of ablator on it. 200 on there. I'm interested to see if this one starts to degrade as well. Nope, no reaction at all in the Onion Tatty. We're entirely dependent on report from the upper atmosphere. Yeah, we'll take that while we're here. But the good thing is with the heat shield on the bottom, it's going to be aerodynamically stable. It's going to come down heat shield first. It's already starting to orient itself with the re-entry vector, so we should be good. Fingers crossed. Okay, the ablator's coming off the bottom heat shield first. It's not coming off the capsule. Which means either the ablator on the capsule is just underneath the decoupler there, or it's calculating it in a different way. 27k above land. Oh no, we're back over the oceans briefly. Coming in at 2,000 meters a second, but no temperature bars at the minute, so it should be alright. I think the heat shield is taking the brunt of the damage, which is what we want. And the ablator's barely ticking down. It's not actually that hot a re-entry. Just making sure that everything comes down okay. Alright. Plasma heating is starting to tail off, down to 1500 meters a second. There is a coastline down there. I'm not sure how well it comes out on stream, because stream tends to darken things a bit, but there is a coastline. The only thing we have to do now is wait for it to get to the point where it's safe to open the chutes. I am going to increase the altitude on this a little bit, just to give us a bit of leeway after what happened last time, but okay, we're down below a kilometre a second. Still 16k up, so plenty of time. EVA report. I don't think so. Not doing an EVA at 700 meters a second. That would not end well. Speed's down to 600. Yeah, we're coming down on the dark side. There's nothing much we can do about it, but can't really see much at all down there. Alright, shoots are safe to deploy. We're still 9 kilometers up. This thing actually slows down quite well. I mean, the atmosphere on roads is not particularly thick. It's thinner than Kerbals used to be, but it still does the job at slowing us down. Right, let's deploy shoots. And fingers crossed this actually slows the capsule down enough. Because again, that thin atmosphere can be an issue. Well, it's not as thin as Lewis, but it can still be a problem. Shoot should deploy at about 1500 now. There we go. Gives us a bit more breathing space. And we are a good 3 kilometers above water, so yeah, we're coming down in the mountains again. Let's go grab an EVA while we're here, why not? Roads, rocky islands. Because, you know, jumping out the ship while you're falling is always a good plan, right? It is a bit nippy, isn't it, Tatty? 8 meters a second. I think the tolerance on the heat shields is 9, so I think we might be okay. But yes, it's not the slowest descent, and that's just one onion capsule underneath a big parachute. Road's atmosphere is kind of thin. Just doesn't slow you down as much as it used to. And Valentine on EVA, the altitude switched to ocean. Oh, okay. Interesting. I never noticed that before. Yep, coming down in the mountains. Cross your fingers. Well, we're down okay. Valentina can get another EVA report. Roads, rocky highlands. Perfect. Board and recover. Alright, we have successfully orbited Lua. It's taken us a while, but we've managed it. Which means we now have the cash that we can go and upgrade the VAB, and then we can actually launch our lander. Yeah, mission success. We've only lost 1 pilot so far. Not that bad. Maybe. Kinda. And 141 science came back as well, which is awesome. 342 funds from recovered parts. Hardly worth the effort. Valentina's now level 1. Gets a bunch of ribbons. First little orbit, first little EVA. We can upgrade that to max parts 255. 50% survival rate. Make sure you mention that in the advert for the new crew. Yeah. Hey, no, Jeb survived his first mission, so that's like 2/3 survival rate. Out of 3 manned missions, 2 have come back intact. Great. How many Kerbals actually are there on this planet? Well, there's Jeb and there's Val and there's Bill and there's Bob. There are 4 astronauts. And then there's Werner, Jean. I'm presuming there's somebody actually in mission control as well. Yeah, there's a few folk around. I mean, I don't know how big the colony ship was, but it was, you know, a few hundred Kerbals to start with. Ugh. Stupid stream deck's not working either now. Oh, my tech is failing me tonight, it really is. There we go, back. And they're not telephone sanitizers. This is definitely the A arc, not the B arc. We sent the B arc off somewhere else. I think it's orbiting Joule. Or what's left of Joule. Alright, worst game as ever. Thank you for dropping by though. And thank you for the follow as well. I noticed you added that a couple of days ago. Much appreciated. I'll try and drop in and catch some of your streams sometime soon as well. But yeah, good to have you here. Cheers. I appreciate you turning up. Always good to have the company. Right. Let's see if we can take our lander. Actually, let's see if we need to modify our lander based on what we've learned so far. Because, you know, stuff hasn't gone perfectly. So let's go have a look at our lander as it stands and see if we want to make any changes to it. That was 4,100 delta V and that got into lower orbit. So at least we have some more information about the lander now. $4,700. That needs to get us down to lure and back up. Will that be enough? I don't honestly know. Thinking it might be, but hemispherical liquid fuel tank. Ooh, interesting. Your adapters. We could do something like that's the wrong size. I don't think I have a 1.85 back to 1.5. That's a shame. Oh, that's true, the hemispherical is liquid fuel, yeah. Kinda want to do that, but that looks really, really ugly. Give us an extra couple of hundred delta V, but let's go have a look and see if we've got anything else we can pick up with our science, because we can get some hopefully better fuel tanks. Because I want to add a couple of tweaks to this. I want to give it a bit more delta V because I'm not sure that 600 is going to be enough to get off lure. And we went through almost 4,200 just doing orbit. And that was orbit with apoaps way up as well. So if we go up here and take a look at advanced rocketry, what do we get? Containers. Better engines, although thrust to weight ratio is not really a problem. What I want, monoprop. Baguettes might come in handy. The dumplings or the donuts. Can we get there we go, universal storage liquid fuel tanks. That might make all the difference. And the bigger cargo containers. More fuel tank adapters. Bigger fuel tanks. There's the fuel ducts that we'll probably need at some point. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably the way to go. Any advanced construction gives us anything we need right now. Ground bases, Campertrons already. Landing would give us the bigger legs. Might make. Actually, that means we can build a slightly higher lander, slightly taller lander, and then bring it down with a wider base. Because the Falcon landing gears are perfect. And we have a decent sized heat shield as well then. If we take those two, I think that might give us what we need. Fuel systems for the bigger tanks and the ones we can actually put inside universal storage, which I think is going to be really handy. And landing for the bigger legs. What else have we got down here? Space exploration. Gives us more heat shields. But we know this can come back from Lua, so that's not a problem. Heat management. Kind of want more science. Where's the rest of the science stuff gone? Oh, that's getting hydroponics sometime soon and start getting all the stuff for different life support systems set up. No, we'll go with landing for now. That's our science gone. But now we can go and have bigger fuel tanks, so let's not worry about it being quite so high. Put wider legs on it. And hopefully still be able to bring the lander home. And if I can get the total Delta V up to about 5,500, I'll be a lot happier. Because I don't think 4.7 is going to be enough. Come on, load the craft and zoom in. So we'll take those ugly things off there. And then give me a universal storage 4-bay core. And where's the universal storage fuel? Oh. Liquid fuel tank, there we go. Give me 4 of those. And you need to be triple height. Not hooked onto there, but to there. Delta V of 4,900, that's better. It's much better. I'm going to take you out. How much did that drop it by? Only 100 or so. If I take 200, I guess that does weigh over 5,000. It's still a very tall lander. I'm still not overly keen on. But I think we're gonna have to, yeah, we're kind of gonna have to go with that. What have we got in terms of landing legs now? We have the Falcon Smalls, which are still huge. And there's no doubt we'd land on those, but they're just way too big. We can take the LT1 landing struts. That we get a much wider base. I'm a whole lot happier with that in terms of landing. If we're coming off of Lua, our top stage has a thruster weight of exactly 1. But let's take some engines a little bigger than the spiders. Thrust and vacuum 2, thrust and vacuum 2. Okay, the spider is the bigger engine of those two. Alright, so if we're going to go with spiders, thruster weight 1.13, that just jumped up. I'm not complaining, but we clearly didn't have that ant on there before because that's not available. I'm confused. Oh well. Thruster weight 1.13 on Lua. That's okay. Our staging is still set on this with all our ridiculous asparagus stuff. Drop that. Where are those? Where do those 4 engines go? Why are they in there? I don't want them in there. That's why our thrust to weight ratio changed. Because our staging got screwed up again. Thrust to weight ratio of 1. Which means we'll hover. Which is really not what I want. Can I get more engines on this thing? If I do that, I can kind of squeeze more engines in there. Doesn't look as pretty, but they're in. Thrust weight ratio 1.96. Probably get away with 6 engines rather than 8. Well, I think that's going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the engines are under the legs. Thrust weight is 1.4. Delta V is down to 495. It's dropped slightly because I get the extra engine weight, although it's not a lot. I mean, I could probably take just going to mess my staging up, isn't it? Come on, go on top. Thank you. Yes, that's messed my staging up completely. And you are all facing the wrong way. Fantastic. Oh, come on. Sit back on top, will you? And you're all still facing... Oh no, no, you're facing the right way. Yeah, facing outwards. That's fine. So, we need to get those Separatrons sorted out again. That's those two, so we're just looking for the top ones. And then you split these up. Not you. You go. You go. Then of these four, we need that one and that one. 2, 4, 5. There's one there. Oh, it's just because the group's expanded. So I was looking at this and thinking 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, but it's not because the group's expanded out. That's okay. Right. Our staging is correct. Our external tanks should go out, and that gets us another 100 meters a second of delta V, back up to 5,100. Which I'm hoping is going to be enough for a lower landing. I don't think I need those solar panels anymore, because we've got panels on the inside of the bay. That saves us a bit of weight, gets us an extra 20 meters a second of delta V. Attract primary bays. Ladder looks a tad odd because it's kind of fixed to where the bay would be when it's closed, but mind you, at this rate, you know, our ladders are all over the shop anyway. I'm honestly wondering if a Kerbal on Lua has enough EVA to get back up, because if he doesn't, when these are extended, it's a long way up, and I don't think we have any other. Nope, we don't have any other ladders. So to be honest, he's either going to make it or he's not. Because he's not going to get back up there. I suppose we could drop the legs down, we could set it on the floor and then climb back up. Yeah, we can do that. What I do need is another ladder there. And I also need all these ladders to just be A1 high and be on the correct side. We figured out that the door is actually on this side. Means I'm also going to move those parachutes around. If that's the door, I don't want it blocked by. Why have you gone back to 2 times symmetry? Why put the parachutes on this way? Isn't the door one thing to the left? No, I'm pretty sure the door is that one. I swear it would normally be on a pod anyway. We'll check when we get out on the pad, we'll make sure we can EVA before we take off. But I am going to put launch stabilizers on this one now. Because we have the part count. bring you back in. Should be able to climb up. I just need to move guys back in somewhere slightly more. You don't end up looking really ugly. So you two for landing on Lua, you for coming home. And we know we can come home with the whole thing decoupled. Because we did that on the last mission. Alright, 5,100. I think we can take Valentina to Lua and see what happens. I mean, this may end up being a test flight. We may end up finding there's still problems with the design, but fingers crossed it's going to work. We shall see, I guess. I love the crooked ladder coming up there. Look at the state of this. As long as she can climb it, it's fine. Right, let's save that, launch it and see what happens. This vessel contains its round parts which are not available at the moment. Oh, okay. Do I need to buy the fuel ducts? I do need to buy the fuel ducts. That's fine. It is a bit pinhead, isn't it? Oh, God, yeah. Right.